I think we're live. So, hello everyone. I see everyone in chat saying where they're from. If you haven't yet, go ahead and do so. So yeah, welcome to this third session on MCPs. This one's about, as you can see, designing AI systems. We'll talk about what that actually means. And it looks like, based on the number of people I see in the webinar today, it's a slightly smaller group than last workshop, but that's fine. It's a more intimate session. It's going to be a little bit more advanced, but I hope to keep your attention, there's going to be some cool things that I'm going to show you how to do. Yeah, we're just going to get right into it. So if you, sorry, I have a cough. If I cough from time to time, apologies in advance. Yeah, so hi, if you haven't seen me before, either on town halls or on these workshops, my name is Nick. I've been with Hospitable for quite a while. And yeah, I'm kind of the main person behind the MCP stuff, and actually a lot of the AI stuff in general at Hospitable. Yeah, so this is the third in a series of workshops that we had. We had one, now a month, a bit more than a month ago, about just like introducing the MCP and like what it is, what AI agents can do, and some very basic examples. Then we had a second one a week after that, where I showed some specific use cases and prompts that you could take and actually put into practice immediately. And someone did and used one of the prompts and got 2 guests to extend their bookings on the spot using Claude and the prompts on the screen within minutes, which was just amazing to see. Yeah, so today's the third in this 3-part series. And you can check out our YouTube channel. We have the recordings from the first 2. If you missed those, that you can rewatch them again. Yeah, Steve, that's exactly how you can do it. Just go into YouTube, the Hospitable channel. We'll have the MCP workshop recordings. And yeah, this one is also recording. Petra, I hope you'll confirm. Petra's here as well. And yeah, this one should be available as well on YouTube afterwards. So yeah, today, thank you, Petra. Yeah, today, what are we going to do? So very, very, very quick recap about MCPs and Hospitable MCP, and then we're going to jump into a bunch of live demos and building out some AI systems. And then again, plenty of time for QA, I hope so. But also I want to make a note about what today isn't. You know, the topic is designing AI systems. That sounds very technical, very complex. This isn't a software engineering workshop today. It's not about coding. It's not about vibe coding. I will hope to give you the tools to actually build pretty interesting systems, AI systems, without any coding whatsoever. And you'll see in a bit how we're going to do this. So let's talk a little bit about MCP. Recap, like I said. So AI agents, they follow this pattern of you ask them something, they think for a bit, they do something, and then they give you some sort of response. And that middle bit kind of can happen in multiple steps in succession. And that act part is where the MCP part comes in. And MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. Don't need to really understand what that is, but it's basically a way for AI agents to talk to other apps like Hospitable. You might also have seen mentions of tools or connectors. MCP, tools, connectors, it's all the same thing. It's basically AIs communicating with other software. And you've likely already used MCPs without knowing it. If you've used ChatGPT and Claude, you know, if you've had it interact with your inbox, searching for stuff, having it display maps, that's all powered by MCPs under the hood. And Hospitable MCP similarly can offer your AI agents quite a lot of things. And in particular, so access to your property data, your calendar data, prices, availabilities, being able to update pricing availabilities in your calendar, seeing your reservations, seeing your messages, send messages to your guests, seeing your Knowledge Hub, update your Knowledge Hub. Now, more recently, see and update tasks, see your teammates, see and update scheduled messages. That's a very recent one. See your smart devices and more coming out all the time. Coming soon, a few things. One, I know a lot of you have been asking about this, not just in the context of MCPs, but integrations and apps in general. So we will very shortly, maybe tomorrow, be rolling out the ability for your full access, so admin team members, to also connect Hospitable MCP to their AI agents. This was not previously possible. It always had to be the primary account holder in Hospitable. This is going to change. And so your admin secondary users will also be able to connect their AI agents to Hospitable, because if they have full access to your account anyway, they should be able to do everything, and AI agents will help them with that. Apart from that, managing smart lock codes, managing messaging rules, property settings, that's all in the works and coming soon as well. And yeah, if you haven't yet started with Hospitable MCP, you can just visit this page, mcp.hospitable.com, and it will have a few instructions for how to get started, as well as a link to our help page for kind of connecting an AI agent to Hospitable MCP. So this topic, today's workshop is about AI systems. So very briefly, it's literally one slide. Don't worry, I'm not going into a whole lecture about this. So, what are systems? Before we get into those, you can think of it as like a factory, right? You have some like raw materials, something that goes in as input into this. It gets transformed in some way. Something happens to it. It gets processed, and out comes something more valuable, something more useful out of that, right? It might be some plastic pellets. Out comes a Lego block, for example, right? And the reason it's a system is because that process is repeatable. It's not a one-off thing that happens and then you can't do it again. The system is in that you can do those 3 steps over and over and over again to get results all the time. And it turns out you can use AI agents in just the same way if you know a few tricks to turn them into these repeatable systems. And so with that, let's start looking at how we can do something like that. I am going to switch out from, is this going to work? This is going to work. Good. I figured out how to do this in our webinar software. Finally. Preface to what I'm about to do. I am currently in the Claude Mac app, right? I'm not in Claude.ai in the browser. I'm in the actual Mac app for Claude. What I'm going to show you isn't necessarily specific to Claude. You should be able to do similar things in other software as long as you find the right kind of terminology that they use for these things. So follow along. If you've used Claude already, you should be able to do exactly what I'm doing. If not, and you're using a different agent, don't worry. You should be able to find out how to do this as well in those agents. So first thing I want to show you is you're probably familiar with Claude Chat or ChatGPT Chat, right? You type a message here and get it to discuss something with you, to do something for you, right? And I've shown you before how you can connect Hospitable MCP in Claude. In the connector section, you can add a new one, and in there, sorry, not this page. There's a I'm on a company account. It looks a little different, but basically, there's a button where you can add a custom connector, and you put in mcp.hospitable.com, connect, and it goes through a flow to kind of connect to give permission to Claude to get access to your Hospitable data. But I assume you've kind of reached this point by now, so I'm not going to go into that process just yet. What I do want to show you is there's a different tab here called Cowork, and this is what we're going to be doing today to build out these systems, as we're going to call them. Cowork is a little different. It has access to a little bit more functionality, including interacting with your computer and doing things like schedule tasks. And you might see where I'm going to be going with this. But earlier today, I saw a post in our MCP community group, somebody wanting to find out how to use an AI agent to get a kind of report for their team's messaging performance. So like how quickly their teammates respond and so on. And I want to show you what that might look like in practice. So let me do one thing very quickly. I need to log into one of my colleagues' Hospitable's account. Do it for 60 minutes. And I'm going to transfer this. Okay, so I'm now logged in over here as Derek. And back here, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to copy this very simple prompt to begin with. And the thing is, technically speaking, this is not going to yet use Hospitable MCP, but I want to set the stage for what you can do with Claude co-work and schedule tasks, okay? Now, I'm going to ask Claude to visit the Hospitable web app, to go to metrics and the messaging dashboard in metrics, and to look at those widgets, the messages sent by team, the number of messages sent, and the response time. Now, you can do this yourself, right? In Hospitable, you just go there, you pull those metrics, and you look at them, you transfer them to a chart, whatever. I'm going to show you how you can use AI to do this for you, basically, on a schedule, and then do something with it. So let's just see what happens. I'm going to ask it to do this, and what it should do is actually browse. And because I'm already logged in the browser, it will just reuse my session. I'm going to allow it to do so. Now, this will be a slightly slower paced workshop than other ones, because we're going to actually have Claude doing things in real time, and sometimes it will take a little bit longer. Let's see. If we click here, you can actually see it doing things. So it logged in, it visited metrics. Now it's going to go into the messaging section. It's going to find the relevant widgets that I talked about and start pulling out data. So while it does this, again, you might be thinking this is overkill, right? Like, you can go into the metric section yourself, and much quicker than AI can, and probably for much less cost. You might be thinking, do this yourself, pull out the data, and you're done. Again, I want to set the stage for different and interesting things that you can do in AI that you might not have been aware of. And again, I didn't code anything. I went into Claude and asked it to do something, and it's doing it without me installing anything else. Maybe a caveat, I'm not sure if you need to add a particular plugin in Chrome. Maybe that's the only thing, but regardless. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I want to then transform this into a repeatable, what's called skill in Claude, and I think other agents as well. So skills are basically wrapping up this request and what it does and how it does it into one thing that can be rerun with like a simple command, like do this skill, and off it goes. So you don't need to prompt it again every single time. And by doing so later, I'll show you, we can actually start scheduling those skills. So for example, every Monday or every Sunday or whatever, you would ask it to run this for you, and it would give you some report, without you having to go into the app yourself. So I think it's more or less done, right? So it actually pulled out the correct metrics from the metrics section in the Hospitable website. And this is the data that I asked for. So the messages sent by team. So this is like by month. The original ask in the community was weekly breakdown. You can do this yourself. I'm just showing you kind of the general approach here. So now the important thing is I'm going to say there's a slash command /skill creator. Help me create a skill for what we did here. This skill creator is built into Claude. And what it does is, like I said, it creates this repeatable skill, this repeatable little system. Again, this will take a little bit of time. I'm doing this live, so bear with me. While this loads, I'd love to hear in the chat, like, there probably will be time to do 1 or 2 live things that you ask, and I'll try to kind of recreate them in Claude directly. So what would you like to see me do as like a repeatable system that you could then schedule or run on demand, like wrapped up in a little skill. So if you have ideas, type them up in the chat. Yeah, Bonnie, I'll get, so where are skills stored? I'll get to that. I'll show you. So, okay, so skill creator, I asked it to do this. And first thing is like, it asks for some clarifications. So what should the skill cover? Just the 2 teammate charts or the full messaging dashboard? Again, up to you. In this case, I asked for those specific things. I'm going to wrap those up, just those charts. When should the skill trigger? Messaging metrics and team performance. Let's do explicit request only for now. Should the skill always use the current year to date, or should the range be configurable? This is up to you, depending on how you want to do this. I'll keep it as always the current year. You can change this later. This isn't like set in stone. You can go in and like change the skills later. Okay, so in answering those questions, and it's going to start creating this skill. So who was it? Bonnie, you asked where are skills stored. So we will eventually see this in this customize tab. There's going to be a skills section here in Claude, and so there's the skill creator itself, and then there will be a new skill somewhere here for the thing that we're just working on now. I'll show you in a second. Let's see, what are some ideas? I want to just surface this real quick. How about exporting the data to Google Spreadsheets? Funny you say that, George. Give us a moment. Okay, so this one, message team on WhatsApp once a month with report instructions for improvements. So what I'm going to show you today is like half of this, and the other half is the WhatsApp part. I know that I think, yeah, someone in the community actually built something to send messages on WhatsApp. Petra, I think we have that in the MCP library. Let me just very quickly confirm. Where was it? Oh, I had this open. Hang on. Oh, it's here. Okay. Yeah, we do have it here. Let's see. Let me bring this over to the other. Is it here? Yes. So we have this MCP library. You'll find a link to this in the community. Oh, I need to stop. Get rid of this. Okay. We have this MCP library. There's a link to it in the community. And this is a list of various MCP like AI systems, dashboards, assistants that people have built, and instructions in various degrees of reproducibility for how you can try and do the same thing. And so someone actually has a WhatsApp integration there. Now, they did specifically, they have a WhatsApp business API access. Now, you might be able to do something yourself if you find an available, I think, connector, maybe. But yeah, I'm not sure if there's an easy path to just straight away go take this Claude and send these WhatsApp messages. But maybe somebody in chat has an idea about that. Okay, I'm gonna switch over back to Claude. Let's see, it should have. Okay, so let's see. We have a now skill called Hospitable Messaging Metrics. Let's double check. So if I do / maybe I need to reload this. Let's see. Where is it? No, not yet. Oh, I did it earlier today. Why is it? It did it slightly differently with me earlier today. It's asking me to run like evals and tests. No need, just create the skill. So as you'll find, unfortunately, like a lot of the tooling around AI agents is still quite early, and they sometimes make things a bit more technical and convoluted than necessary. Unfortunate reality. While it's doing that, I'm going to run a bit more QA. So Alex asks, can we take all tasks from cleaners and automatically upload them as transactions in statements? So I think we can hack that. And that will be a combination, I think, of Hospitable MCP proper with what I showed you today with the browser. We can try that. Okay, so back here. So we have a skill now. Let me check. We should have it. Oh, come on, Claude. Save. There we go. So we needed to click save here, but here it is. So what this means is that in a new chat, again, in co-work, if I do a new task here, it will repeat it. It will just rerun it on the spot, exactly as we've done it before, and it will give me the report, right? And so that's the first step. We now have a way for Claude to interact either with Hospitable MCP, but like I said, this wasn't actually using the MCP. This was using the app proper and browsing in the app. But now we've wrapped up that little bit of something to make a report, and now we can reuse it every single time that we want to, either on demand, like I can just rerun it now, right? I can just let it run, and while it does so, to prove out the point, I can go here. So in Claude Cowork, if you go to scheduled, what you can do is, let me delete this, no need. New task, set up manually, and you can do something like this, like weekly messaging performance report. You can write whatever you want for summary. I'm just going to copy it in and run it weekly, let's say 9 a.m. on Monday. Run the Hospitable messaging skill. Now, when we save that, that means that what's going to happen is every Monday at 9 a.m. local time, with the caveat, as long as the Claude app is open on your computer, this will trigger and it will run it and it will be ready for you. Okay. And to prove it, like, yeah, it will do it automatically, but I can run it now. And the same thing is happening. So it's actually running that skill. It's going to connect to the browser. Let's see, the other one, again, we had to allow it for the website. Oh, I think it, give me a sec. Hang on, stop. Let's try that again. I think it's tripped up over itself at some point. Oh, is it because I'm doing something with screen sharing here? Give me a second. Where was this? Was this here? So a bunch of stuff opened. Try this again. Apologies. Let's leave this one. Try again. New task. Okay. I actually saw it open something. Allow. I'm seeing something else happen. Yeah. Okay. So here, right now. Sorry, I have so many windows open. Here, yes. So it's actually doing it there. So it's doing its thing. Okay, now it's actually working again. Okay, so that skill, I just ran it, and now it's actually working through the thing. So browser use is, again, different category of skills, but I wanted to show, like, there are some interesting things you can do. Now, Was it Alex or somebody? No, Alex asked about statements. There was somebody asked about what can we like upload these things to Google Sheets. So yes, indeed. If you go again to connectors, and we're going to add Google Drive. I'm going to connect Google Drive. And open Claude. Okay. Claude is Google Drive is connected. And so what we can do now is I'm going to go back into the skill. So I went into Cowork, Customize, Skills, the Hospitable Messaging Metrics, Edit, and here's what I'm going to do. Oh, actually, no. I'm in engineer mode. I always want to go in and like make tweaks myself. Let me backtrack. You can do this in AI. So I want to update the Hospitable Messaging Metrics skill to upload messaging metrics results to Google Sheet. If one hasn't already been assigned in the skill, let's make one in Google Drive first. I think columns will be something like date of data fetch, something like that. Columns for teammate, etc. So let's just see what it does. So what it's doing is it's figuring out what the skill currently does. It sees that nothing's been done about Google Drive in there yet. And it will see that we've connected Google Drive, and it should ask to actually create a new sheet because we haven't assigned one, set it up with the relevant columns, and then update the skill. And then we'll rerun the skill to see what's happening. While it does that, let me go back to the other chat to prove out that, yeah, here we go. So the same data appeared, right? This was the one that I was running to show the skill when you just triggered it with the slash command here. So the same thing happened. It reran the skill in the browser. Okay, here we go. So it wants to search files. So it wants to search if there's already a Google Sheet for this. It shouldn't find it. If it does, it's a coincidence. In the Hospitable workspace, there's a lot of Google Sheets, so probably it needs to do a little bit of searching. And yeah, let me go back to chat while it does that. Okay, so here we go. It's actually creating one, Hospitable Messaging Metrics Tracker. Okay, allow. If it doesn't, if the AI agent is doing stuff in like Google Sheets or something, and it ends up making something that's not quite right for what you need, again, prompt it to change it. It will change it, no problem, right? You're in control for the way the information is structured when you're trying to get a result out of this like mini factory that we're building, right? The raw materials going into this are data from Hospitable MCP or directly from your web application if it's doing the browser thing. And then it's doing a little bit of processing with AI, and out comes some report. And it's up to you what shape that report is in. So it's created the sheet, it's updating the skill. And then once it does that, I'm going to rerun this command to see it in action. Yeah, I'm just, I want to highlight a few things maybe some people are missing. So Karina is saying you've created the daily report, which you get emailed to you, and it covers check and check out, maintenance issue, and so on. Yeah, so it's basically like a mini dashboard that gets emailed to you, like or like a digest. So question to you, Karine, that you did this in an AI agent and a similar workflow where it kind of has access to your something, or you did this in some other way. Yeah, so thanks for the reply. Yeah, Karina said yes with Claude and integration with email. Yeah, exactly. So probably Karina did something like this again and customize. So the same way that I added Google Drive as a connector, you can add Gmail as a connector with access to your inbox. Now, keep in mind, the same way that Google Drive, like it needs my approval to actually create and copy files. Gmail, when connecting, you can leave it as needing approval, or straight up just not allowing it to send any emails, right? Or delete any emails. You have control over like what it is able to do here. So let's see, go back here. It's still working. Okay, so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Naiman. What about building an agent to store property knowledge past conversations, handle 90% of repetitive or stored guest messaging questions? This is an interesting one. I think I showed basically this in the second workshop. One of the prompts was pretty much around this, where I think. Now I'm second guessing myself, but there is we have the ability to store things in the Knowledge Hub via Hospitable MCP, and obviously read past messages. So you can very easily prompt Claude. In fact, let me do the following. Since we're doing this live, for this you don't need co-work. Again, you can do this in a normal chat. But again, let's do a chat here to wrap it up in a skill to be reused, right? So look back 3 months worth of messages. Compare them to what's in my Knowledge Hub. Find gaps that are valuable to fill in terms of guest experience, guidelines, policies, and so on, right? Make this your own. I'm kind of riffing here. So yeah, either generate a report that you can then do something with, or if you're so something like this, compare them to what's in my large, find gaps, give me suggestions for things to add to the Knowledge Hub. And what I intend to do with this is it will go off and do it. I'm just going to trigger this. It will go through like all the connected properties, all of their messages, compared to Knowledge Hub. So this will take a while. I'm going to let it run in the background. But the idea would be that coming out of this, it will make some suggestions. And I will again use the skill creator skill to wrap this up so that I can run it on demand, like, once a week, once a month, or whatever. And then at the end of the chat, I should just be able to say, yes, go ahead, like to the ones I care about, and it will go and update the Knowledge Hub, right? If you don't want this to be on autopilot, because like it might put things into the Knowledge Hub that are maybe like really lower value, like not that important, and you might get like lots of fluff basically going in there. Most cases are just completely like not dangerous, they're trivial, but still you might want to have more control. Anyway, let's leave this running. You see I have like lots of chats building up now. Okay, so back to this thing about Google Sheets, right? We had this messaging report that we just got raw data out of, and we had a table in the chat. We want to put this into Google Drive. So I'm going to save the skill, replace the existing one. Okay, and now let's I'm not going to run it in the same chat because now it has like a lot of context already. I'm going to do it in a brand new chat so that we're not kind of biasing the AI, right? I'm going to do this. Oh, in fact, I'm going to do, I need to find it first. Give me a second. What do we call it? Messaging metrics tracker. That's the one. Let's put it here. Here we go. Okay, so it's empty. And back in Claude, so hospital messaging metrics, just run the skill. Again, this is going through browser, so it's going to be a little slower. Allow. And I see it doing stuff somewhere. I have lots of windows, so I'm going to come back to this. Yes, I'm just going to say allow the use of the get reservations tool. So when you're first setting up Hospitable MCP, which is what it's using now, this is no longer browser, this is actually using Hospitable MCP. You'll need to tell it what you want it to always allow to do, like for example, getting data versus like always asking you for updating data, like send a message to update knowledge hub and so on. Those things are more destructive. You probably want to have more control rather than always allowing those, right? Oh, this I just remembered something that I wanted to mention. Yeah, there were a few messages also in the community around the fact that, you know, if you have several properties on your Hospitable account, sometimes the AI can be like over loaded basically with data because like it has a limited window of information that it can work with basically. And although it's quite a big window, still, like the more you ask it to do in a single chat session, the more likely it is to not be able to keep up, especially like if you have a lot of properties. So my suggestion for those cases, if like that's your particular case, use separate chats for each property. Not ideal, or like, you know, groups of properties. Say like, you know, property A, property B, property C. Look back 3 months worth of messages, and it will know to use Hospitable MCP to look just at those properties rather than your entire portfolio. And then you have a separate chat for another group of properties. And that way you're almost certainly to be within that AI context window so that it doesn't trip up over just too much information, right? Okay, so it's still going through lots of messages. I'm gonna let it run. So this knowledge hub, let's see, what is this? Yeah, so this is running the messaging metric skill after we've already done. Okay, so here it's being a little dumb. It's not using the MCP, it's trying to navigate to docs.google.com. I'm actually going to deny it. Let's see if it knows to use the MCP. If not, I'm going to do something on the spot. I'm going to deny again. I'm just going to check. Did we? Yeah, it didn't do anything there yet. Google Sheets navigation is being blocked. Okay, use Google Drive MCP to update the Google Sheet directly. Let's see. Is it going to do this? Oh, no, hang on. It's actually trying it now. Here we go. So read contents. I'm assuming that's the correct file. It gave me just a long identifier here. Yeah, this was the file. It's empty right now. And it should ask me for permission, I think, to write to it. So like I said, it's a much more slower paced workshop today because we're doing this live and sometimes it takes a while to do things in AI live. Okay, so it said it did it, right? And let's just confirm that it did this. No. So where did it do this? Into the Google Sheet below the header row. Let's see, what did it do? Oh no, you lied. Oh, hang on. Can only create new files, not update existing spreadsheet cells. Oh, hang on. Did I miss something? Because, oh, it can't update a file in Google Drive. Was I silly? Is there no... Okay. All right. Well, in this case, what we would then want to do is probably ask it, if you want to be working in Google Sheets, my recommendation is no. Unless you have a good reason to keep it all in Google Sheets, don't do it in Google Sheets. You have better software available for to do that. If you want to keep track of information like across time, you can do something like Notion. It has support for like tables and databases. You can connect a Notion connector. But in this case, if you really want to use Google Sheets, what you want to do is have it create a new Google Sheet every single time, basically, because it looks like the connector here doesn't support updating an existing one, which is honestly dumb. I didn't expect it to be this limited. But the point that I wanted to show is how you can connect multiple things together to start kind of the beginnings of workflows, right? Because what we did here was you're in an AI agent with a skill that uses a browser and then tries to put that information into somewhere else. So you have this like mini workflow forming. And the same thing with the Knowledge Hub stuff. So remember, this was about looking back messages and for opportunities to populate the Knowledge Hub. And I'm gonna do this. So skill creator, again, like wrap this in a skill that I can rerun. Same thing, right? It's the same thing that we did with the messaging report. I'm not gonna sit here and wait for this to finish. You know the drill. It's gonna create the skill, we're gonna save it, and then we can rerun it as a slash command. And then, if we wanted to, we can make this scheduled where we actually ask it to run that skill, let's say once a week. I mean, looking back 3 months worth of messages once a week is overkill. Maybe once a month, or you look back several weeks worth of messages. Okay, I'm gonna switch back to chat to see what else we can work on. Yeah, Eli, yeah, exactly. So Notion has it's a bad link. Eli in the chat posted a link to the Notion MCP, and you can connect that to your AI agent in Claude. It's under connectors. It's directly here, actually. Notion is available right here. If you've never used Notion or heard about it, it is a it started kind of as like a document tool, note-taking tool, but now it's evolved into something much more than that. Databases, tables, documents. Now it has like entire AI agent workflows in there as well. So you can absolutely use Notion as your AI agent rather than Claude directly, which might be more interesting in some cases because you already have all the native document functionality like directly in Notion already, rather than having to put this into like Google Sheets or whatever. Let's see. Sorry, bear with me. Let's just quickly check on the progress here. It's still running. Right, I wanted to do the following. I'm lost in Windows again. Let's see, where are we? Yeah. Can I bring this over here? So back in the MCP library, this one, the found money engine, Sean McGregor posted this. Again, some steps for how to try to recreate this. But the general idea is basically this: extract guest conversations, reviews, and stay data, and score repeat booking intent, and generate outreach messages. And what we can try and do, if you're interested, let me know. Do you want me to try and kind of quickly try and recreate this in Claude to see like what that workflow might look like? And while you do that, so Jonathan, can you create bookings and create transactions as well? Using MCP, you can create manual bookings. You can't create direct or OTA bookings. Transactions, not yet. I think that will come soon. And very quickly, oh, I just realized this. Can you still see the screen? Something just changed. Yes, it's there. Okay, so will we be able to eventually see teammates are replying, sending messages to guests so we can evaluate our VA's performance? If you mean by a MCP, yes. If that's not the case already, I apologize. I think that's an oversight. That should already be there. Well, that's what happened. I scrolled. Yeah. So one, yes, if it's not already there in the MCP, we'll make sure it is. Our kind of like, I don't know, North Star is a weird term to use here, but like our principle is, if you can do this in the web application, you should be able to do this in MCP. An AI agent should be able to do it for you, right? It's your data. You should be able to have access to it. So yes, this should be possible. If not now, then soon. But again, if you, in case you didn't realize this, in the metrics section, there's a messaging dashboard. You can see this data also yourself, just in case you weren't aware of that. So in the web application or mobile app, go to metrics, messaging, and you have this exact data. So back to, back to somewhere here. I got lost in various chats. Yes. Okay, let me try and yeah, let me try and do this very quickly. I know we're actually approaching. Yeah, we're really approaching time. This took a bit longer than I thought. Let me do. Let me just show you at least the start of like what it looks like and what my intention would be to do this, right? How I would do this is in Claude. First of all, I would also go and again in connectors. I would connect something like Notion to keep better track of it rather than Google Drive. That's the first thing that I would do. Then in Cowork, for example, I would do something like, extract past guest conversations, reviews, stay data to score repeat, score out of 100. First, I would do something like, pull a bit of data and brainstorm about best approach. I will start with that. It will pull data out of Hospitable MCP and start giving you some suggestions for like what to do here, right? And you can go back and forth with it in the chat until you're kind of happy with the approach. My personal take on this would be something like creating a list of stays and the future date when it would be great to reach out to them. So rather than trying to see like right now, is it okay to reach out to like one of like 100 past guests? Instead, I would do like, I don't know, a weekly or like monthly task, like a scheduled task that would do this as a skill and create a running list of guests, their score, and the future date when it would be good to reach out to them if they have a high enough score. So like, let's say if they scored, like it would add the guest there anyway, like it's 50 out of 100. So it's probably too low. But then it adds another one, like you have a guest staying next week. And that one gets a score of 80 out of 100 because of like how positive they were about the state, the review they left, and so on. And then the AI should leave the same kind of date next year for like when they're likely to stay again because they've just stayed, and give you an idea for like when to reach out to them. So it might be like, I don't know, 3 months before that or something like that, or like a month before that, as well as a specially crafted message just for them. So that would be my flow here. So first, brainstorm a little bit with data coming out of Hospitable MCP. Come to like an agreement for like how this shape and like algorithm for scoring should look like. Connect Notion, my personal preference. You can have other tools. And yeah, package this up as a skill, like I showed you with like skill creator, right? And yeah, run this on demand so that it populates that data into that table, like wherever it is. Like, does that make sense? Eli, connecting Notion to Knowledge Hub. Yes, actually, that would be great. let's think about that one. Okay, there's 8 minutes remaining. I don't want to use up all the time because I did promise there would be a bit of QA. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch from screen sharing and start looking directly at the questions and maybe answering some from chat and QA. Where are we? Chat QA. Here we go. Orange Cabins, plan to pull all property data at once, pull them together instead of having it pull each property separately. I think technically it can, you need to prompt it in a particular way. I don't recommend doing this if you have really like a pretty big portfolio, I don't know, like 50 plus properties, because of the data problem. It might just start tripping up. It has too much to work with. But I don't know, up to 10, 15 properties probably should be okay. I'm just gonna very quickly help.hospitable.com. I'm gonna confirm this myself because there's one particular tool that this would use. So connecting AI agent using Hospitable. Oh, by the way, yeah, let me. Available tools, get properties. I think you can. I think you can. You just need to prompt it to get all the relevant data up front, because otherwise I think it would actually think that it needs to go into every property to get its details. I think you should be able to do this. If not, let me know in community, and we should be able to patch this. Let's see, any useful skills already built for Hospitable? No, but after this workshop and after what we're seeing in the MCP library that I showed you, I think this would be a good idea, right? Just to have some ready-made things that you can just download and plop into like Claude and get them working straight away, right? I think that's the next step for us. Yeah. What? Oh, sorry. That's the wrong button. Why did you run through the browser, not MCP? Yes, not MCP, because that particular scenario, the MCP doesn't have access to metrics, and what it would actually have to do is run through a lot of raw data for a very long time to figure that all out. What I wanted to show you was more the idea of connecting multiple tools together. In this case, it's basically it's an AI agent, but also connecting to your browser, and then eventually, for example, also connecting to Notion and having that like little workflow. That's the only reason that I did the browser. The MCP doesn't have that metrics data, and also because I wanted to show the workflow kind of in general. How do I export reservation data that shows top cities, places of ordering for guests, and get email addresses and names so we can target them to come back and offer this? So as long as your guests have provided those details, as in like the email addresses, it literally asking Claude that, get me reservation data showing top cities places of origin for guests. Literally that. Just ask Claude to do that after connecting Hospitable MCP. In some cases, really don't overthink it. It is really like very straightforward. Oh, this one. Yeah, when should you be using MCP versus API or webhooks? It's a great question, and API webhooks are more for if you have, I think, software that is already built and how can I phrase this? AI is getting really good. So what I showed you today was like kind of still surface level, but you can already see kind of the start of essentially like me building software on the spot, right? With this. Before this point, so like go back in time a whole 18 months when this wasn't possible at all. API and webhooks were the only way to do this. As AI is getting better and better, MCP and AI agents start to take over a lot of the things that you would normally be using API and webhooks for. That being said, there's still very much a place for the API and webhooks approach when you're still working with more traditional software. You have a software stack that has a server and it's got certain things that needs to accomplish in a very predictable manner, some algorithms that needs to run. Yes, API and webhooks are very much still on the plate for you. But in many cases, when you just want to get insights or get like knowledge work done, MCP and AI agents are a great solution to that. Let's see. Okay, so this is worth still doing. Yeah, you've got MCP connected. Do you recommend customizing the always allow, needs approval, or blocked options for the 30 read-only tools? I recommend at least glancing through that because I do encourage you to know what you're in for and like what you're controlling. So the defaults when you're connecting MCP are safe. The defaults are anything that has the potential to change your data will not be triggered, will not be set to like automatically allow. It will always ask you for permission. So from that perspective, like it is safe to just connect MCP and try things out. It won't automatically change any of your data without asking you first, right? But what is useful is for you to potentially customize what Josh is talking about. Let me very quickly share screen again, I think. And I need to, I think, close this, right? Yeah, here we go. So what Josh is talking about is the following. If I go to connectors, Hospitable, this screen, right? All these tools that Hospitable offers through the MCP, which ones are needs approval and which ones are allowed or just outright blocked. So all of the ones that are like get something or list something, it is pretty safe to just straight away always allow, unless you have a very specific like data privacy concern. Always allow because it just speeds up your workflow. You're not waiting for Claude to ask permission to get your permission to just get data out of your account. Because you might like ask it to do something and you go for like a cup of coffee and you come back and it's been sitting there for 5 minutes waiting for your permission, right? So the only things are these ones, these like cancel, create, update, and so on. These by default, like I mentioned, are all needs approval, and that's fine. And if you want to be really safe, like some things you just never want to even like think about, just set them to like, you know, just block it out, right? If you really want to go down that path. But like I said, just connecting MCP is safe to try things out. Okay, stop sharing this. Yeah, this one. To be clear, you need a paid version of Claude. Yes, to do anything meaningful, yes. I think you can play around very briefly with a free version. I think you can connect Hospitable MCP and you might do like 2 messages before it tells you to upgrade. So you can at least proof of concept it. But yeah, to actually work productively, you do need a paid version. Let's see. Okay, and I'll do a few more. Those of you who want to stay, feel free to stay. Even though we're kind of at time now. Here, is there a way to assign tasks with Claude to certain individuals on my team? Yes, as of a few weeks ago, we did roll out this ability. So the Hospitable MCP exposes your existing tasks, your existing teammates, and the ability to both create new tasks and update tasks, which means you can ask Claude to create a task for a particular teammate. You can call them by name and it will find the teammate that you're talking about, or even reassign a task. So if you have like, the next week's, Wednesday checkout, reassign it to, I don't know, Marie or, whoever your teammate is, it will know how to do this. Your ChatGPT Mac app doesn't see connection to Hospitable. ChatGPT specifically. I'm not sure. So one, you can try and Command R to refresh the ChatGPT app itself. I think that should work. If that doesn't, try and add the connector in the Mac app as well. Maybe there's something a little different there. Try that. Moritz, I would like to enhance the way tasks are being assigned. I would like to assign all cleanings to a certain person on a specific day. Again, I think that should be possible now. If not, let us know. Literally asking Claude to do just this. On that day, all cleanings, this person, and it should know how to do this. I'd be very surprised if that's not the case right now. Right, because it's not that it needs a specific tool for a day's cleanings. All it's going to do is going to find all cleanings on a particular day. So it has those cleaning records, and for each of them is going to go and assign it to that particular person. That's all. I want to surface this for a couple of reasons. So Joel, you want to send a text to past guests that left 5-star reviews. Goal will be for them to leave a Google review with the property. Yeah. Can you use Quo? Quo is a software for messaging, like SMS messaging, to do this with Claude and Hospitable through a scheduled tasks. I'm not sure that Quo has. In fact, we can look that up very quickly. Quo MCP. It does. So pro tip is if you have a use case like this in mind and you're wondering, can this be done? Because like, I don't know if provider X, in this case, Quo, has a connector, you literally type in Google, Quo MCP. And if you see like an official link, probably is going to be like quo.com, and then has like mcp.quo.com, you're probably in luck, because that means that they will have instructions for how to add that to Claude. And now you have that like little bit of a system, that little bit of a workflow, right? Where you can ask it to get stuff from Hospitable and then use Quo to send a message to X. And then if you wanted to, again, do a /skill creator to wrap that up in a thing that you can reuse all the time. So I think this is possible, yes. Let's see. Maybe one more and then we wrap it up. Anthony, does the MCP have access to the filled fields in rental agreements? No, but this was talked about internally end of last week. We want to have this very soon for you. Yes, stay tuned. Okay, I think we can wrap up. at this point. we're over time now, and so thank you so much. I hope that has been helpful. What I wanted to show you was basically connecting multiple things together, how to get Claude to do a thing that you can reuse multiple times, how to use both Hospitable MCP and other connectors, and yeah, like start thinking about not as just an AI chat, but like as a way to build your own kind of little workflow or system or like content factory or whatever it is you want. So yeah, I hope that helped. That was the third part in this series of workshops. Yeah, we have community.hospitable.com. If you haven't yet registered there, please go ahead and do so with your Hospitable account. There are plenty of conversations happening, not just about MCP, but also the product in general. You can ask questions. Plenty of people are there to help. And yeah, hope to see you there. If you have any questions, like I said, ask them there. Either myself or other members of the team or other members of the Hospitable community will be able to help you. This workshop will be made available on YouTube after a little while. So go ahead, and if you go ahead there if you want to rewatch it, or if you missed the previous two, you can go to YouTube and catch them as well. Cool. Thanks again, everyone, and yeah, happy MCPing. I don't know. Bye.